Okay, welcome back. We are going to finish up this chart together. I still have my scrap paper because some of these are going to get a little more difficult as we go on to page 2. We are starting with 1/100th. That is 1 over 100, a small number. That's 1%. If I look at the fraction, if I want to go from the decimal to the percent, I would have 0.01, and I would move my decimal point 2 times to the right. 1/4 is a very common fraction, something that we might want to memorize the decimal and the percent form of. When I think of 1/4, I also think of 1/4. 1/4 would be 25 cents, so 0.25 is going to be the decimal. I can move the decimal point 2 times to the right, and I get 25%. Another option would be to divide the denominator into the numerator. That would be 4 divided into 1. We know that it doesn't go into 1, so we would have to add a decimal and make it 4 into 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. So 10 minus 8 would be 2. Add another 0 and bring it down. 4 goes into 20 5 times. So same answer, just another method of solving. Either way, you're going to get 25/100ths or 25%. 20%, I move the decimal the other way now because I'm going to decimal form. That's 0.2. I can use the percent to make this 20 over 100, or I could use the decimal to make this 2 over 10. This is going to simplify to 2/10, and then I'm not done. I need to continue to simplify because 2 and 10 are both even. So 2/10, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So my final fraction is 1/5. Next I have 91/100ths. 91/100ths would be 91%. Moving the decimal 2 times from 0.91, we would go this way to get my percent. And then I would put 91 over 100 as my fraction. 91 is a prime number, so we can't simplify or anything. 91/100ths is our final answer. 3/5 is a little trickier than the other ones. We need to figure out what the decimal form is. One strategy is to see if my denominator can become 10 or even 100. 5 goes into both 10 and 100, so I can make my denominator 10. I can do 5 times 2 to get to 10. So I would do 3 times 2, and I would get to 6. 6/10 can be written like this in decimal form, 0.6. Then I can take my 0.6, move my decimal point 2 times. I have an empty spot where I'll put my 0, so I end up with 60%. 57%, move the decimal 2 spots to the left, gives me 0.57 or 57/100ths. 57 over 100 is totally simplified. 57 is another prime number, so nothing can go into it besides itself. 5/100ths, I can move my decimal point 2 times, and I get 5%. I can also write 5 over 100. For my first fraction, 5 goes into both of these numbers, so it is not reduced. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 10 20 times. 24 over 25 is probably the most difficult one we've seen so far. I can check if I can make my denominator over 100. I can by timesing everything by 4. So 25 times 4 is 100. 24 times 4 is going to give me 96. Another strategy would be to divide the denominator into the numerator. This strategy is good in case your denominator can't go into 100. This one is going to be a little more work. 25 into 24 doesn't work, so I have to add a decimal point and a 0. 25 can go into this 9 times. That gives me 225. If I subtract the 2, I get 15. Add one more 0 and bring it down to make the number 150, and 25 goes into 150 6 times. 96 over 100 is now going to be 0.96. For my decimal form, 96 over 100 is 96%. At this point, you should move on to the next slide. There is some classwork for you to try on your own. There are additional videos if you need some extra help. At any point, you can pause, you can take a break. I've said before that this is self-paced. Good luck with the rest of the slides, and make sure to turn it in when you are done.